So about Michael Jordan, how you gonna hit from outside the finals? You can't even get in.
Hello and welcome to the Basketball Addicts Podcast.
Yeah.
And today we have a good one.
Always.
Today we're going to be talking about, we have many things. We're going to have a speed round about all your teams that missed the playoffs. We're going to say one thing about them, 30 seconds each, all really quick and short takeaways. And then we're also going to have our playoff brackets. We're going to make them official. We're going to break them down for you guys. And we're recording this on Sunday. So we've been able to see some games. So we're just going to kind of react to some of them, let the conversation naturally flow that way. But I don't feel like I really am super swayed on changing anything in my brackets and seeing the games, except maybe a few situations that become a little tough that I was thinking about. So it's going to be a good podcast, Chris. Really good. High quality. So are you ready? Do you have anything you want to say before we hit this speed round?
No, let's just get to it.
All right. Orlando Magic. 30 seconds.
Oh, Orlando. Okay, so I think they drafted pretty well, prior to the season. I think they have a lot of potential there. I think they're just missing, just maybe some veteran leadership on the team. I mean, Terrence Ross he's okay, but he's never won anything. He doesn't know what it takes to win, in my opinion. I think that a lot of those young teams like the Orlando Magic are just missing that older, experienced championship level voice in the locker room that can really push them, maybe not to a championship level, but at least to a playoff level. These are really young guys who really just need that extra push because the coach isn't doing it right now. They're doing okay, but I think it's just they need a winner in the locker room, and I don't think they have that yet.
Yeah, I think my take would be that I really think that they've drafted well. I think Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs have a nice combination together because one's the better passer, the other one's a little bit of a better shot creator. And I think that they found a few guys that are good fits on NBA championship teams like Franz and Mo that are really good fits, and they just need another guy that can shot create. They're going to get Jonathan Isaac back. I think Wendell Carter Jr. is going to be a good backup center, and I like that head coach, so I like where they're going. The next one, Detroit Pistons. 30 seconds.
Detroit Pistons. I think Cade's a bright spot for them, for sure.
Yeah.
I think they have there are a lot of these young teams that just didn't win this season, who got left out the playoffs. They have a lot of potential. They're a piece or two away. I think that I forgot who the guy is that you were saying that Detroit might draft. I think if they get him, one of those two guys that Jason talked to, Ivy or Jabari Smith, right? Or was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jabari.
Ivy or Smith, I think that'll push them. It'll push them to the level they need to be at because they're there. I mean, they have the point guard, passing ability with Cade Cunningham. You know what I mean? He's definitely a good player going forward. Definitely is a good, build around player. But I think they're just missing something.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. I think Cade is a good passer, good fit on a good team. I really don't think they should move forward with Dwayne Casey. Anybody that puts Cade Cunningham at the 2-guard position, I mean, dear goodness. Fire him. All right, that's my take. Indiana Pacers next. You go first.
Indiana's stuck in a rut. I don't know what they're expecting to get, where they're going, anymore because they're not throwing the same team out there because they drafted. They got Chris Duarte. They got Buddy Hield now. I mean, Miles Turner is not turning out to be who you thought he was. So you just keep moving with the same pieces. You keep bringing Lance Stevenson back. I mean, that's beating a dead horse. He was great for the Indiana Pacers, you know what I mean, during the Paul George run when he blew in LeBron's ear. Oh, great. But it's years later from that, and you're just still putting the same team out there expecting a different result. I mean, you got some better shooting. great with that. I mean, you got some defense, you got Malcolm Brogdon, but now those are trade assets. So now what you need to do is since you're not drafting well, you need to go ahead try to trade those assets for a good start. I mean, for a star to lead your team now. Maybe it could be coaching. I'm pretty sure I'm going over 30 seconds. It could be coaching. Could be, what's the guy? Rick Carlisle. It could be Carlisle, but I just don't see that. Like, I don't see them doing anything anytime soon because they're sitting on assets right now.
Yeah, I think when you're already sucking this much as a team and you have some veteran pieces that are good like Brogdon and Turner, you might as well just say we're going to move forward with Tyrese Halliburton and Chris Duarte and trade a bunch of assets. We're just going to try to have a high pick next year and get two guys this year, one guy this year and one guy next year. They become difference makers. It's an odd team that has more talent than they're winning than the games won. So there's something off there.
Yeah.
Washington Wizards.
Ooh, okay. Washington is weird because Washington, when they got everybody's role players, plus Bradley Beal, I mean, they were playing pretty well. Kuzma, whatever. He was playing pretty well. What's the guy's name? Montrezl Harrell was playing pretty well, but they just I wouldn't say they under-succeeded. They didn't over-succeed. I mean, they won some games. I mean, what do you expect from Washington at this point? They still only have Bradley Beal. They don't have a true point guard. I mean, they have not drafted well. They're probably not coached well either. It's just, that's debatable, but that's another team I'm just like, they got to make a move now. Like, they've been stuck in a rut for so long, even with John Wall and his injury-prone self. It's just like, they've just been stuck in a rut. The farthest they've been is like, I think the first round, and they got knocked out by the Celtics. But they have to. That was years ago, and they haven't been to the playoffs since. They have to make a move. It's either they make a move or here's my take: Bradley Beal leave. There we go. 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think Beal leaving it makes sense, but honestly, I think this team. I disagree. I think they can make the playoffs next year, as long as all they have to do is draft a point guard, and then it's a point guard: Beal, Kuz, Rui Hachimura, KCP. That's a pretty decent team. So yeah. That's why I would disagree. New York Knicks.
Knicks are doing well. I would say for the Knicks because they have RJ, Cam Reddish. I don't think wouldn't necessarily say that they should make a move per se. I would say more along the lines, they just need some time. They're one of those, okay, we're figuring it out. They were in the playoffs last year. They missed it this year. They just need some time. RJ is really developing. He's really turned into like their guy right now. So to give him a little bit more time, I would say maybe in about a year or two, maybe they can move Julius Randle for a veteran piece. I mean, for a better piece than him or something like that because he is a veteran right now. Unless they're going to keep him for like just that voice in the locker room. But I think that RJ going forward is the best option right now.
Yeah, I think they're a team that I disagree with Tom Thibodeau's value as a coach of this kind of team because he doesn't really give Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett enough chances to fail. It's like you've messed up one time, I'm gonna pull you out. Like he does not do a good job of developing young talent. That's my opinion. I think he's a good guy. Okay, we have a championship winning team. He's gonna run. We have defensive talent. He's gonna run that ship, and he's gonna be good at it. Some coaches are good at coaching NBA playoff teams, and some coaches are good at developing talent. He's just not one of those guys. So I think that's the negative I'm gonna take away from the Knicks. Is Thibodeau's a good NBA coach and the right team, but I don't think the Knicks are the right team.
Yeah.
Charlotte Hornets.
They definitely they made it to the play-in. They were really close. I think they just ran into like just a better team who kind of just knocked them out. I would say that keeping that young core together is ideal. I think that the problem is ownership.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. The problem is Michael Jordan. That's my problem there. I'm not gonna say sell the team, but I'm gonna say that maybe you shouldn't be a GM. But go okay. That's it. Unpopular opinion.
I'm gonna agree with you. I think. Oh, my bad. I agree with you to the fact that this team's got a young core that's good. I think LaMelo, James Bouknight, and Kai Jones are gonna need more time, but you got LaMelo, Bridges, and I can't think of the PJ Washington. Like they have some good young pieces. Just give them time and develop. They're gonna be good.
Oh, and Bridges, yeah.
Bridges really grew a lot this year, which is impressive. I didn't see him becoming this good of a player.
Yeah.
Credit to his work ethic. The hometown of the team, Cleveland Cavaliers, the last team in the East.
They ran into a really good team in the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, like the Atlanta Hawks seeding does not really tell the story of the type of team that they are. I think they just had kind of maybe I don't know. I don't know how to necessarily describe it exactly, but they just ran into a really good team in the play-in.
Yeah.
Probably normally wouldn't have been in that spot to end up in a play-in, but they just had kind of a little bit of an off season, and then Trae Young picked it up toward like after he got used to the rules, he picked it up, and they haven't been on a tear since, and they just ran into a red hot Atlanta team. So I think that next year they'll grow. They'll probably have Colin Sexton back. Maybe they can move him or keep him, however they choose to do, whichever way it goes. That's just more scoring. I mean, I'm more on the side of maybe moving him and getting a piece. And
He's
they're
restricted free agent.
He's gonna be restricted free agent. Okay, so yeah,
So they will. They're gonna let him walk.
That wouldn't be bad. I think that you want to double down on the Garland Mobley duo right now. That's where you want to bet all your money at.
Karis LeVert.
And Karis, okay, yeah, Karis LeVert too.
Yeah. I agree with you. This team showed a lot of promise this year. This team got something special. The reason why is because they're doing something innovative. The height in 3 through 5, Lauri Markkanen, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. It's something unique that can really make a difference in the NBA. I think Evan Mobley's potential is the best player in the NBA championship team. I think Darius Garland's potential is the number 2 best player in the NBA championship team. I think Karis LeVert's potential is the number 3 on an NBA championship team, and they have good pieces. Jared Allen, Lauri Markkanen around them. This team has NBA championship potential. They just got to keep this core together and the head coach together. And as long as they don't fuck it up, this is a team with some serious high upside.
Yeah.
That's my take. All right. Houston Rockets.
Houston is another young team that I think that they're gonna fail a lot. They're still very young. They have KPJ. They have Jalen Green. I think they have a good young core, and they're going to fail a lot. But don't break them up. Don't give up on them because you're still in rebuild mode, Houston. You just lost James Harden like 2 years ago. So don't give up on these guys because Jalen Green is definitely showing promise. He went from, I think, like 10 points, 9 points or something like that before the All-Star break and really took off and ended the season with like 20-something points averaged. Like, that's a great sign, So you just keep that same energy going, forward. I would say maybe in about 3 to 5 years, they'll be ready.
Yeah, I think Jalen Green losing his mind at the end of the season, averaging 30 points per game multiple times at the end of the year. And that's scary for the rest of the league. And his potential is insane. His potential is the best scorer in the NBA. And I fully expect him to be 21 or 22 next year points per game. Okay.
Yeah.
He's coming. There's gonna be a point in time where this perimeter shot creation and this athleticism is gonna converge, and that's when he's gonna put on muscle. When it happens, that's when he's gonna be an all-star.
Yeah.
All right, Oklahoma City Thunder, and we're gonna be right again.
You're right. Remember, you heard it here first. Oklahoma City. I didn't really watch too much Oklahoma City, but I'll give the best take I can. I think Shea's an upside. I think he's a great piece if you want to move him. I think Josh Giddey is, he's turned out to be better than what I thought he would be and what we thought he would be on, from this podcast. I think that honestly, I wouldn't make a move unless you're going to somehow trade Shea, maybe SGA for something better. But if you can stay and stick with that young core and maybe something veteran, sometimes you just need that voice, especially with those young guys to lead. Let's give them a couple years.
Yeah, now that you say that, a veteran role player in the NBA that's been around for a while would be a good piece for this team. I would say Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, the man's averaging like 24, something ridiculous like that. Like, he is the bright spot on this team. And I feel like you only make a trade if you fall out the top 4 of the draft, right?
Yeah.
You have so much draft capital, and that's the future. You have a lot of future, a lot of things to bet on, and it's just going to be about, can you make the right moves?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens. And they've done it before when they drafted Russ, James Harden, KD within a five-year time frame. So, he has some respect on his name as a GM. That's what I want to say. Trailblazers.
Oh, I can't wait until we get into those 3.
Oh, Trailblazers is the next team.
Oh, Trailblazers? Okay. Ooh. Damn, they don't have anybody anymore, huh? You're in rebuild mode, So I think the best thing to do right now is you can't double down on anything. Everybody's expendable. You should be trying to leverage your picks if you have any right now to try to bring in that star player. But I don't think anybody really wants to play for Trailblazers after they, they just don't seem like a great organization right now. I guess like your bright spot right now would be Anthony Simons, but he's still very young, very young. He's not going to give you what you want right now. He'll show you flashes of what you want, but he's not going to be able to give that to you consistently yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's a good player, a good young player as well, but they have too many hyper young guys to win an NBA championship over there. While Dame, if they bring in somebody, so I think you trade Dame. I think it's time to just call it a day with him and build with Anthony and Brandon Boston what you get back for Dame.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
Dame to the Lakers.
2023. Hey. All right. Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento. Drafted pretty well, I think. Given the Davion Mitchell, getting the extra added defense was a really good play for them. Mm-hmm. I think that they gave up, their shooting. I know they have that guard over there. I forgot what his name is. Outside Fox. Of De'Aaron. I know De'Aaron Fox, but there's one more, right? Or did they trade him?
Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox is your guy right now. I think that once you broke up the dynamic duo, I would say, of De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield, you kind of need to replace that somehow, unless you're just going to add Davion Mitchell into that spot. I mean, Sacramento hasn't been a great team too long, but I guess they're getting a little bit better as an organization. So I say give them a couple years. I'm still looking for De'Aaron Fox to get an All-Star nod very soon.
Yeah, they don't win enough for the mainstream media to give him credit.
Yeah.
He's a beautiful passer, though.
Yeah.
My takeaway is I have the same takeaway from last year. You still need more defense. They need a few guys that can guard because they're just not balanced. They can score. They run up. They can score. And I like the combination of Sabonis and Fox. Those are two good passers. You just need some shooters. They need to get some shooting depth at 3-and-D kind of guys. And Barnes is a decent player, but I think you just have to draft well here in this year, and then they can do something in the future.
Yeah.
All right. Goats team, Lakers.
Oh, my gosh. The retirement home. I thought for the longest time, until this year, was that the Spurs was the place where players went to die. It's the Lakers. Who knew? It's the retirement home. You got Carmelo over there on the walker. The only young spot is LeBron doing sprints, you know what I mean, and swimming through the pool. Like everybody else is Malik Monk, you know what I mean, doing jumping jacks and climbing on the monkey bars because he's 5 years old compared to everybody else. Yeah. I don't want to say trade Russ. I don't want to say trade Ant Davis, but that's kind of where I'm leaning. I'm saying that possibly one of those two guys or both of them could bring back something better. You get off of Ant Davis because you don't see the same fire, the same lion that was in him during the playoffs in the bubble. Like, I feel like he got really complacent. So I think that he's not thinking championship aspirations anymore. Like, yeah, he may say it in the media, but I'm just not seeing it because he hasn't been healthy. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. He just doesn't. And even when he played, he's not the same player. He doesn't look like the same player anymore. I mean, like, this is the year he was supposed to take the reins from LeBron and, like, this is my team. LeBron, you could take a step back a little bit. That was also what Russ's point was supposed to be. It was like, okay, when LeBron doesn't play, he sits out the gate. We have Russ. Russ does the same things, you know what I mean? Kind of. And it has not turned into what, you know, that whole game plan has not bore fruit. So I think that because you can't sit on these guys because they're aging, you move them. You get younger. I mean, you get a little bit younger, but you get talent back. You have to get talent. So I think that maybe if they could work something out with, you know, Indiana or something like that, and they can move maybe Buddy Hield and, you know, Miles Turner, that'd be good. You know, that gives you shooting, that gives you, you know, a big man to kind of replace, you know, maybe get a little bit younger. But other than that, I really wouldn't. I think that the best thing to do is to move away from those two.
I would trade everybody. Everybody's on the chopping block. And I'm going to see what I can get back and try to build.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if I can get Dame, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you have to trade 80 for Dame, Dame fits perfectly with Braun. Like, it is peanut butter jelly because that perimeter shot creation from deep. That is, you know, there's... you know, get a clean slate, bring in some veterans, bring in some role players. I can build around LeBron and Dame really easy. So it comes down to what's available. What can I get? If trading Anthony Davis gets me somebody that's like that, he's on the block for me.
Also, the Lakers are in like a black hole type of thing. Sorry, because we don't have a coach right now. There's no coach, so
yeah. They got to find something to do there.
Yeah. They're banking on the Toronto Raptors losing and trying to fire Nick Nurse.
If they fire Nick Nurse, they're the stupidest franchise of all time. I can't imagine that.
Yeah. They're not going to... I mean, they fired the only available coach. So unless they're going to get, like... They're banking on the 76ers losing, too, so they can get Doc Rivers. They're banking on these teams losing. They don't have a clear path forward. So... If there was an award for, like, I don't know, worst run franchise right now, I'm sorry.
I do think one guy that I think would be good is the old Portland Trailblazers coach before Chauncey Billups. He's sitting on the Warriors bench as an assistant right now. I feel like he maximized those teams. They're just poorly built.
Yeah.
I feel like he's at least an average NBA coach. I don't need much more. You know what I mean? I just need somebody that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok video where he was Frank Vogel was breaking down a game and he had like stats in his PowerPoint. He had like a middle school PowerPoint of like points per game. I got all these advanced stats, true shooting. Like, bro, Woj can do like Zach Lowe can do that. Well, I really think that they're just gonna shoot so many threes. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, dude, no shit. Portland Trailblazers shoot threes. Have you watched basketball before? I don't know.
Yeah.
Frank Vogel, man, he is a trickster.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a bad human being. He's probably a nice guy, but he's not an NBA coach.
There we go.
All right, San Antonio Spurs. I got to get it one more time, and now he's actually gone. So,
yeah.
My pain in my heart been holding on all season. Spurs.
DeJounte Murray, bright spot for me for sure. I think going forward, you let him develop more. You really don't expect to pull off a playoff win or anything like that. Not at this moment. You stick in the draft, keep drafting well. Love those international guys. Bring them on in and try to pair somebody with DeJounte Murray.
that they have to realize what they are as a team. They've been getting carried by the greatest coach of all time. That's been making them not a 18 in like 60 something, team.
Yeah.
Just be honest there. So, yeah, that's my takeaway. I agree. DeJounte Murray by far the only player that's even good on NBA playoff team.
Yeah.
All right, the last team, the Clippers.
Oh yeah, the Clippers did miss the playoff, but they only missed. You know what? Get healthy. The only reason they missed the play-in is because Paul George couldn't play, and they were playing undermanned, and they were expecting Reggie Jackson, yeah, to put on a Superman cape. Which I mean, he's able to sometimes, but I mean, I think in that moment, the lights might have just been too bright for him. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't move away from anything. I think you have a deep team. You have a good team going for it. You just got to stay healthy. That's it.
Yeah, they fleeced the Portland Trailblazers of Covington and Powell.
Yeah.
This team can legitimately be an NBA champion contender as soon as Kawhi and Paul George come back.
Yeah.
They have so much depth that it's pretty scary. All they need is some depth at the point guard position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my takeaway. All right, that is the end of the rapid round, and now we're going to start talking about the actual NBA playoffs, which is what everybody came here to see. All right, we're going to start in the West. Phoenix Suns versus the New Orleans Pelicans.
The Phoenix Suns versus Pelicans. Who won the first game again? I'm sorry. It was, Phoenix, right?
Now. They haven't played.
They're playing. Oh, shoot.
They haven't played.
Okay. Perfect. So I think that, Phoenix is the best team in the West. Outside of the Golden State Warriors. So I think it'll be Golden State 1, Phoenix 2. So I think that that's not really you have CJ McCollum. The Pelicans, is kind of squeaked in with the play-in tournament. So I feel like they're not gonna. I think Phoenix is gonna easily just blow through them. Kinda. I would say maybe 4-1. They might sneak a game. CJ might get hot. Brandon Ingram might get hot, but it'd probably be 4-1 for me.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that this is a matchup you don't really have to talk about much about because there's not much. This is not two teams in two completely different tiers. Brandon Ingram, though, I'm happy that the major media fans are gonna get to see how special he is because he's been flying under the radar for a while. That's how good he is. We've brought him up. Oh, this guy should be an all-star. Oh, this guy is borderline all-NBA. Nobody else is talking about him. They will be after this playoff series. He's at least gonna put up one game where it's over 30, and we're like, wow, Brandon Ingram's so good. Like, we've been trying to tell you for a year. You know what I mean? So
remember, you heard it here first.
All right, we got the Utah Jazz versus the Dallas.
Okay, listen. So we know that the Utah Jazz is a perennial first to second round exit, and the only reason they may or may not exit in the first round is because of the fact that there is no Luka Doncic on the Maverick side. Guess who they have over there? Tim Hardaway Jr. That's not enough.
Hardaway played. I don't think Tim Hardaway is healthy.
They're going to get a cakewalk to the second round exit.
Yeah.
They're going to get these spoon-fed cake until Luka Doncic comes back and gives them 40. So I would say 4-1 because he's coming back.
Yeah, I was literally like, oh, I don't love this Dallas Mavericks team. They're not that talented, but their best two players are Luka Doncic and Spencer Dinwiddie. They're just going to expose Rudy Gobert all series. It's a terrible matchup. Well, now it's just Spencer Dinwiddie. And I'm like, oh, Donovan Mitchell is at least going to carry. Yeah, this is going to be a 6-game series. I have the Utah Jazz winning in 6. I just can't trust how healthy Luka's going to be. So who'd you pick again?
Utah. I said they're going to get the spoon-fed cake all the way to the second round exit.
That's a fact. Chris, you could not be more right. All right. The next one's the 3 versus the 6 seed. It was the Golden State Warriors versus
Nuggets. Denver Nuggets.
Yes. Gracias, senor. You go first.
They're not I'm gonna say that this is a very, 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 sad time for all Nuggets fans right now because we're about to get
R.I.P.
we're about to get swept. Even like we had a chance with no Curry, not to take a game, but with Curry, Jokic can't do it by himself,
No.
and Jamal Murray, hurry back, please, for my sake. Just next season. Sure. Yeah, just come back for my sake. Just we miss you.
Correct. Yeah, my breakdown on this series is, well, I knew before game one the stuff was coming back, so I was like, yeah, I feel good. I said 6-game series. Basically the reason why is I think it's gonna take them a few. They might have some chemistry mishaps where all these guys are never really played a lot together this year. So I think there might be a high turnover games. Some games really look out of sync offensively, but so I think they might lose a game because of that. But I feel like, dear goodness, Chris. Dear goodness, this is the greatest guard rotation of all time. Top three, 1, 2, 3 combination I've ever seen. Like Steph and Clay were already special, but Jordan Poole, we've been trying to tell you over and over and over and over and over and over again. If you put him on the Orlando Magic right now, he's averaging 22. Like that's how special the Warriors are, and that's how special Jordan Poole is. And I really feel like these 3 guards are going to win an NBA championship if they're healthy. This is my favorite. This is a special team in my opinion, and that's my take on the Warriors versus the Denver Nuggets in round 1. 6 games, Warriors win easily. So special. Denver Nuggets are not equipped.
Just to chime in, big thank you to Chris and Jason for allowing me on the podcast. I know this kind of a last minute thing, but super excited to be here. I think I said this last time. I truly believe this is gonna be one of the biggest sports podcasts in the future. Up and coming, you guys are getting bigger and bigger every day. I'm loving the content you guys are kicking out, so keep doing the thing. I'm grateful to be here, happy to be here. Let's talk this shit. Let's get it.
Sounds good.
Well, we were talking about the Nuggets Warriors.
Nuggets Warriors.
Yeah.
Let them know that we're making our playoff predictions.
We're making playoff predictions. They played. Golden State won the first game. So, I'm thinking they're going to get swept. Jason, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's going to go 6 because they're going to take time for chemistry.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's going to go to 6. I think it's going to go to 6, and I'm rocking out with Golden State.
Yeah.
So
couldn't agree more. Are you ready?
We all got Golden State winning.
Yeah. Are you ready for the 2-7, the Grizzlies Timberwolves that most people are going to want to talk about?
Okay, yeah. Can I go on this one?
Go ahead.
So, I am very, very shocked, but I'm not completely, out of, far as that. I don't think that, I still have faith in Memphis. I was saying it was going to go 6 games from before, and I think that's going to go 6 games. I think that Pat Beverly is just really annoying. He's really annoying to John Morant right now. And, Anthony Edwards is going to have those big games. But I think that Memphis just has way too much right now. And they're going to get clicking. They're not going to take 2. They're not going to drop 2 straight, but they're going to get clicking. And once they click, it's pretty much over. Minnesota's going to. They have Cat and they have Anthony Edwards. They have D'Lo, but I just think that they're going to get ran through.
You know what, Chris? I disagree. Although Memphis do have a really great team, I'm looking at the future of the league when I look at guys like Ant Edwards, the future of this league. He's a playmaker, a great guy that goes out there, aiming the game out, and he dominate. I think once he gets going, I think he has what it takes to beat the Grizzlies.
By himself.
I'm going to stand on this. Ant Edwards, I think he has the ability to beat the Grizzlies.
So you want a Utah type of team? He's just depend on Donovan Mitchell.
I'm gonna say that because you do got Cat, Elo.
Yeah.
Who else over there? Cat, Elo.
And Edwards, really.
And then Edwards, you know.
Tayshaun Prince. Guys like that.
Yeah.
Jordan Vanderbilt or something like that. Last name Vanderbilt.
I think those guys can't win though. I think it'll be tough, but I think they can win.
Memphis is 6. Go.
Memphis is 6.
Yeah. So from my time doing the greatest upsets of all time breakdown, this immediately popped up on my head of there's some potential of upset here. The reason why is I don't look at the Timberwolves as a great team defensively, but they have one great defender, and it's the point guard. Who's the best player in the Memphis Grizzlies? It's the point guard. That's one indicator of a team that's usually less talented, doesn't have a great as a record, that might pull off an upset. Another worry for me is who's the best player in the Timberwolves. Now, he might think it's Ant, but I personally think it's Cat. Who's guarding Cat? Slow-ass Steven Adams.
Yeah.
That's another matchup issue for me. And the Grizzlies play 3 guards. Dylan Brooks is 6'6", but we'll just call him a guard. They like to play Desmond Bain and John Morant. Timberwolves, they match up well with 3 guards because they could put Pat Bev on Ja. They could put High D'Lo on Desmond Bain, and they could put Ant on Dylan Brooks.
Great point.
So they match up well multiple different ways with them. I'm still going to go Memphis in 7, but it's going to be an amazing series. Anthony Edwards did have a coming out party. He averages about 21 points per game. He put 34 on the board tonight. So if we're going to see 30 points per game from him, this could go their way. Ja's game kind of scares me a little bit because he gets a lot of fouls just by being athletic, and teams usually play more physically. In the playoffs, they can kind of get away with more things, so he's not getting as many foul calls. I'm guessing he's getting in the regular season. It's another indicator of the possible upset. And another thing is the only thing that really leans it back a little bit is Jaren Jackson Jr. We had him all defensive second team for a reason. There was some times in that game, Chris, where I was like, oh my God, that was special. Some of the blocks he had, some of the way he moves, the way he can switch, he helps a lot. He puts a Band-Aid on a lot of things that I worry about. So that's why I'm going to go Grizzlies in 7, but this is going to be a great series, and the Timberwolves can pull off the upset, but I'm going to go Grizzlies in 7.
Mm-hmm.
Great point. I know there's a little fall left, but I got a question. Because Russ and Melo never won wings, does that put a dent on their legacy and their greatness?
Well, I don't look at Melo's teams and think how much better could they have been? Like the New York Knicks team, I mean, J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, they had good role players, but it wasn't a great team. They had Chauncey Billups as well, I think. And then the Denver Nuggets teams, they made the Western Conference Finals once. Chauncey, AI at the back end of his career, we were still better than people remember, but I don't really look at him and think his team's underperformed. But I do think Russell Westbrook's first 5 years of not being the great decision maker he is now can be looked at as you didn't reach your full potential with KD. So I would say maybe Russ underperformed a little bit with that pairing with Kevin Durant.
I would say
because that team was good. Yeah,
I would say he underperformed. I don't want to really get into my point on this because I have something to say about all 3 of them. So I'm just gonna
I have a feeling where he's
going. I'll save it.
So we're gonna do who do you think between we both chose the Suns to beat the Jazz. So let's see who do you think is gonna win versus the Sun and the Jazz in the second round.
Ooh, Suns. Simple.
I'm going Suns too.
Yeah. I think it's Suns in 5. I'm gonna give Donovan Mitchell one game.
Okay, fine. But I will say this because if by some grace of God, like lightning comes down and strikes Devin Booker, knock on wood, and the Utah Jazz wins a series, I will buy a Utah Jazz jersey because they will never make it out the second round. I don't believe in them. They put the same team out there. Rudy Gobert's not great. Right. Donovan Mitchell is the only bright spot. You're kind of sort of going the retirement home route right now in Utah. So I feel like if they make it past Phoenix by some grace, some miracle, I will buy a Utah Jazz jersey.
Chris, that was a great point. I just think the Suns in general is just a better team.
Way
a better team
Yes.
across the board. You're looking at the players, just a better team across the board, and I don't think Utah's going to get it done. Like they have no chance. To be honest, I think they might get swept.
It's possible.
I truly think they might get swept. Knowing how the Suns play in the playoffs, I think they might get swept. I don't think it's going to go the whole series.
And Devin
Nobody
Booker
has
is
an
more
easier
determined.
walk to the conference finals than the Suns.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
The East is stacked. There's
Yeah.
four teams that are just going to battle. Like it's nothing. Like the Suns have it easy in the West to get to the conference finals.
Yeah, the Suns are stacked though too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Stacked.
Yeah.
And they have a championship pedigree. They were already in the finals. They tasted it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They could smell the ring.
All right. So the next one is the Warriors versus the Grizzlies for you and Chris and I, and the Warriors versus Timberwolves for you.
I always was saying, even in our previous one was that if Memphis gets the right matchup, they could steamroll the West, right? That was always a thought of mine. But I think that this is the one matchup. If they make it past Minnesota, that will stop them in their tracks right there. They would not beat Golden State. They would give Golden State a run for their money. I would say Golden State in 6, but they would not beat Golden State.
I definitely agree with you what you just said, Chris. But I think I truly think that if Memphis do get past the Timberwolves, which is doable, both you got both two mid-tier teams with two elusive players on it. So I think that if Memphis do play Golden State, they won't have a chance. I think that it gets swept. Just knowing what Curry does.
Yeah.
When he's hot and when he's in playoff mode and that energy and that camaraderie those guys have during playoff time, that's a scary team to face. I think it's a scary team to face. And then Clay is coming off hot too, So I think you have a team like Golden State that has the experience, and you have a young team like Memphis. Those guys just don't know what to do out there.
Yeah. They're great defensively too, so that would be a problem for Memphis anyway.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it'll be in 5 games. I think by the last game of the Denver Nuggets series, we're going to look at the Warriors. They're going to play something amazing. We're going to be like, wow, this is the best team in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
It's the greatest 3-guard rotation I've ever seen. It's way too much power.
Whoa.
Jordan Poole, Steph Curry,
Yes.
Klay Thompson combined.
Yes.
Can
Jordan
put
Poole
up-
is the face of the future of this league too, I think.
Yeah.
They can. Those three can literally average 70 a night.
Easy.
That's who does
Easy.
this?
Easily.
And the hot upside is 85 from 3 players. I mean, who's Jared Goodness? Yeah, it's scary. And Steve Kerr's going to be able to figure it out. I don't think anybody's thought about the fact yet that you could put Steph at the 1, Poole at the 2, Klay Thompson 6'7", guard the 3, Draymond's the 5, and Wiggins is at the 4, and they can bring back that lineup. Like nobody's doing anything with that. Like Steve Kerr's going to figure it out.
Yeah.
So we got Warriors versus Suns, Western Conference Finals, and then go to the East.
Oh, Warriors all the way. Suns got lucky last year. They ran through a less than powerful West. You know what I mean? And then ran into a powerful beast in Milwaukee. They ran into the wrong team.
Yeah, for sure.
They had every possibility to win that ring if they ran into a different team.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna go Warriors in 6 because I think the Suns' play is 1. I think that has value, but I just think the Warriors have way too much scoring talent to not be the best team in the West.
For sure. I'm going Warriors in 6 as well too. I just think the kind of caliber of team that the Warriors have, it's like I said earlier, that's a great team with experience. They know what to do in that situation.
yeah,
Steph Curry is a winner.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to find a way to win. Poole, honestly, I'm one of those guys that wasn't high on Poole. I slept on Poole. I didn't know he was going to turn into this player he is in this league.
Mm.
I had no idea. And
let me stop you right there. I'm sorry. Remember, you heard it here first.
We had
everything that comes.
We
to
had him
future.
as man of the year.
Do we have to go back and pull some tape?
You heard it here first.
Go back a couple episodes.
Yeah, go back. You heard it here first.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about real quick. Stephen Curry is such a ridiculous, selfless superstar. He literally allowed himself to come off the bench.
Yeah.
I named one superstar that would come off the bench. Best player in his team, NBA champion. First game of the playoffs. I can't think of it. Ego is way too big. I don't know. He's like Tim Duncan in that aspect.
Oh yeah, and guys like that are selfless and put the team first. Those are the guys that the guys want to go out and play with people like that.
Yeah.
A guy with that kind of character, I know he's going to get the best out of his teammates every fucking game. That's why I think the Warriors are going to win.
Yeah. All right. You guys ready to transition to the East? We got the Miami Heat versus the Atlanta Hawks.
Chris, I'll let you get this first, Chris.
Because this is a very weird one for me. Because I have faith in Miami, but I think I want to roll with the Atlanta one for this one. I'll say Atlanta.
What?
Atlanta 7.
What? Wait. You just chose Atlanta to win the series?
Atlanta 7.
Oh my god!
A live reaction. This is a live reaction, guys. You heard it first. This is a live reaction.
Yeah. Atlanta 7.
I respect it.
Atlanta 7.
Atlanta 7.
I'm telling you, man. The Heat. I'm calling the Heat a 6. The Heat is just a better team, and like I say, those guys have experience when it comes to playing in those big time games.
So does Atlanta.
They won.
They beat Philly and almost knocked off Milwaukee. They would have been in the finals.
Hear me out though. Trey is I think Trey is a great guy in this league, and he's one of the the top guys in today's league when you just think about this generation of talent. But not to take anything away from Trey, I just don't think him and those guys have what it takes to just go to beat Miami. I just don't believe that. Just seeing what Miami has, you have Butler, PJ Tucker. Who else is on the Heat?
Bam,
yeah, those guys, are good players, and I think those guys are going to go out there, play hard, and find a way to win this series.
Yeah, I was the guy that chose the Atlanta Hawks to beat the 76ers last year before the series started.
You heard it here first.
Wow.
You heard it here first.
And what episode can they find that on? Because he spitting facts right now.
It was hot takes. It was actually hot takes. It was
go on Hot Takes. If you guys are listening, go on Hot Takes and run back the fucking film, man. You heard it here first.
That's a fact.
Heard it here first.
I'm going to completely disagree with you, Chris. You're going to surprise you. Heat in 5. And there's one major reason.
Whoa.
A person that I don't know why you're not thinking about this, Chris. There's one center in the NBA that might be the best defensive player in the league that Trae Young cannot expose. And it's Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo is a freak of nature on the switch. What does Trae Young do to every team in the league? Expose the center. And pick and roll. Bam Adebayo is able to switch. Okay, I'm the best defender on the team. That's cool with me. I'm going to guard you better than Jimmy Butler. Bam Adebayo is that guy defensively. He's in Giannis's, Draymond Green's team. And I'm sorry, Chris, but they got the worst matchup they could get in the East in the first round. And it's this. They're not going to expose them. And they play too well defensively everywhere else. They're too consistent. It's 5. Sorry, it's 5. And it's not even.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I call it 6 though. He said 5. It's gonna be a sweep.
Yeah. Look at the brooms.
It's because of Bam. It's Bam.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
I think I definitely agree with what you just said, Jason. That was a great point for sure.
Real quick, you know what else you heard here first? You know what else you heard here first?
Oh, I know.
Phoenix going to the finals.
Yeah, Chris said if Phoenix gets out of the first round, that they're going to the NBA Finals.
Wow.
Before the playoffs started, he said that.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
Yeah. We're basically gods of our time. 76ers versus Toronto.
Here's the thing. Toronto has that defensive, kind of identity, but I think that the scoring of the 76ers is too much. I think that the big glaring problem the 76ers face right now is that you have Joel Embiid. He's going to be Joel Embiid, no matter what. He's already even shown that he's an MVP caliber player, championship caliber player. The big problem with Philly, and I know this because once I get into this, after we talk about Kevin Durant, and I'm going to get into these three guys, James Harden is a problem. He's a problem. He's a definite problem. Mm-hmm. He shrinks in moments, and he's not the same player. I don't know what it is, but when the playoffs come around, he turns into a different person. It's like he looks like he's playing rec ball. Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like those guys aren't great, but they're okay. Right. They're better than me and you. But he doesn't even look like an NBA player anymore. In some moments he just takes the wrong shots. I don't know. I've seen it happen too many times, and I think that Philly's going to get past Toronto, but it's going to turn to the same story. We're not going to see James Harden get a ring this year.
Chris, and I agree with what you just said. I think you just made a couple of great points. And this Toronto versus Philly, I'm not excited about this game. It isn't an exciting game. I think both teams are two mid-tier teams. And just like Chris is saying, James Harden, he hasn't shown his track record that he can lead teams.
He can show for those big moments. That's what you expect out of a star player like that. A star player
like that demands that much money.
Yeah.
And have all that advertised, but you got to win games.
Yeah.
I just don't, like I definitely agree with Chris. Like I think that Philly will get out of, they'll win, but I don't see them going, past this.
Yeah, like I said, I know that a lot of things that may come out today, Jason, you probably won't agree with, but that's just the first one.
Nope.
That's the first thing I'm saying.
All right. Well, I'm have the 76ers at 5 because the Toronto Raptors' greatness is, man, we got so many long guys. Their center's Pascal Siakam, so it's bye-bye. And I'm going to disagree with you guys. I watched that game 1, and James Harden had 22 and 14. I think I figured it out to the point where Tyrese Maxey, the casual NBA fan, doesn't understand how good he is yet. He's really good at attacking the basket. His speed and quick gifts are elite, and he's going to be able to attack the basket. But what James Harden is doing is he's making Danny Green look good. He's making Matisse Thybulle look good and look actually reliable offensively because he's getting wide open jump shots. He's making Korkmaz look good. He's making they have another 3-point shooter on that team. I can't think of his name. Making Tobias Harris look better.
Tobias Harris, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's doing all of that. He's making everybody's offense easier. Is he going to drop 30 a game? No, but if he's averaging 22 and 14, you know what, Chris? This is my biggest argument against this. What if John Stockton would have had 22 and 14 in the playoff game? What would we have said? Oh my God, John Stockton just had an amazing game. He is such a great passer. 14 assists in the round 1 series against a team that's elite defensively. Nobody will ever say that about James Harden because his passing ability is his most underrated trait by 5 gazillion miles.
Yeah.
He can still perimeter shot create. He's not as explosive. He has lost a half step, but he can still average 22 and 10. And that's good enough to be a number 2 on an NBA championship team, and Tyrese Maxey is good enough to be the first. This team, I'm sorry, man, but Joel Embiid might be the best player in the NBA, and there is nobody that has a solution for that guy. And he can average 35, 33, 32 in playoff series. So he makes up for James Harden's lack of I'm averaging 30. And James Harden's kind of doing his role of making everybody else better. And I just think people are really overblowing it. I have them in 5 over the Toronto Raptors. I think the Toronto Raptors are really not equipped to beat this team.
Completely agree with that. Like I said, I have Philly as well winning the series, but it's just the James Harden thing. And once I get into the 3 that I'm going to talk about later, just wait for it.
Okay.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, that's a fact. The 3 versus 6 seed Milwaukee Bucks versus Chicago Bulls.
Milwaukee in 6. I think DeRozan, Zach LaVine can pull off at least 2 games. I think that they're just not equipped to win it this year because they just had Milwaukee just has a better defensive mindset, identity. They're missing Lonzo right now. They're definitely missing Lonzo. His passing ability, his defensive ability. So I have Chicago maybe pulling off 2 just because of the high scoring potential between Zach LaVine and DeRozan. But other than that, I think Milwaukee is going to run through them.
Yeah, if Lonzo Ball was playing, I would have chosen this upset because I think they match up extremely well with this team because of the scoring. But I think I'm going to agree with you 6. But they cause matchup problems because when they run the pick and roll, Vooch can shoot the 3, and Brook Lopez has to come out, and then there's space at the rim. Like they just have a natural matchup issue for them. They're kind of built in similar ways defensively with drop coverage and slower centers. So, I'm going to go with Milwaukee in 6. Giannis is going to put on a light show. And
for sure.
Go ahead.
I definitely agree with the both of you guys. I'm going to go Bucks in 6. I think that's just a defensive nightmare. Mm-hmm. I think the way the Bucks play defense,
You got to worry about Giannis the whole time, too.
Yeah, it's not, The Bucks in 6.
Yeah. All right. What everybody wants to talk about, Boston versus Brooklyn.
Okay, so I watched a little bit of that game, right? But I think I watched just enough to be able to make my complete decision. So I have Boston winning this series. I'm sorry. I was big on the Nets the entire season. It was like, yeah, they got Kyrie back. Boston's won this game just by the skin of their teeth, but the big glaring problem, and you're going to hate this, is Kevin Durant.
What?
He's the problem.
What?
KD is the problem.
Oh, man.
KD is the
I
problem.
want to hear this shit.
KD is the problem. And
I want to hear this.
And here's the thing. This may be shocking to everybody. Some people may not like what I have to say. Jason may not like what I have to say. You may not like what I have to say.
I'm going to hate it.
But this is the problem. Same problem, James Harden. KD has the exact same problem. He does not show up.
No.
That's a problem. He does not.
No. Wait, time's out.
Up.
Is this live? Did he say this live?
Yeah, this is live. This is live. He doesn't show up.
Let's not act like he didn't duel LeBron James.
Come on, bro.
Boom! I got a great pushback for that. I got a great pushback for that. You said don't act like he didn't duel LeBron James on a 73-win team, Golden State Warriors, where all he had to do was basically you have.
He showed up in those games though. He showed up in those games.
Clay, who attracts all attention, and all you have to do is Kevin Durant just I'm grabbing the ball and shooting. Of course, you're gonna drop like 40, 30 points and get an MVP and you'd be the best player on the floor if you don't have to worry about nobody trying to guard you. Come on now. They were blowing people out before Kevin Durant, and now they're doing even less. The problem is Kevin Durant does not show up in big moments. The lights get too big for him, just like James Harden, just like Russ. The 3. You drafted greatly, but you drafted 3 of the worst people who just don't show up in big moments. They don't show up in big moments. Not saying they're not clutch, just saying they don't show up in big moments. When the playoffs come around, they do not show up. They did not show up. He showed up 1 game last year and dropped 40 and got close the next game. But let's be honest. The best player on the floor when them two play is Kyrie Irving, and there's no debate. There's no debate.
Kyrie just had a better game.
There's no debate. There's no debate. The best player on the floor when they play is Kyrie Irving.
The KD slander is at an all-time high tonight.
It's not the KD slander. It's the Russ slander.
It's
the James Harden slander. It's all 3. It's Russ, James Harden, and and KD. Those three guys do not know how to show up
You can't
when
put
the lights are
KD.
brightest.
You cannot put KD, Russ, and Harden in the same.
Have they won by themselves? Not by themselves, but I'm saying
KD has multiple rings.
with the Golden State Warriors.
He has multiple rings though.
With the Golden
He's
State
a
Warriors.
winner. He has multiple wins.
Is he a winner?
He won.
Is he a winner? Is he truly a winner?
He won the MVP.
Okay, anybody can win the MVP. Steve Nash won the MVP. Okay.
You literally chose the worst MVP player. LeBron MVP. Michael Jordan won the MVP. Will Chamberlain won the MVP. Larry Bird.
But that's my point.
Magic
Johnson. That's my point, though. My point is that not saying that Steve Nash is a horrible player, but he said he won MVP, and I said Steve Nash won MVP. Okay, what's your point? Steve Nash won MVP when Shaq should have won it, or when LeBron should have won it. Steve Nash won an MVP when Kobe should have won it. That is just because you won MVP does not make you a great player. I mean, it means you're great on that team. You fit well into the system and you can play well. But I'm just saying that in these moments, mark my words, in these moments, these three players always shrink.
Chris,
they never show up.
Chris, you're literally trying to diminish the pinnacle of award a player can get when he's in a NBA championship game. You cannot diminish the magnitude of what it is to win.
Iggy won the Finals MVP.
That doesn't matter, bro. That's the pinnacle of that sport when it comes to awards. Winning the MVP.
Iggy won the Finals MVP.
All right, man. That like
while LeBron dropped 40 on his head, he won the Finals MVP.
That's still a great pinnacle to reach.
Go ahead.
I'm finished, man. Go ahead.
Oh, KD in 2012 in the NBA Finals had 36, 32, 25, 28, 32.
Speak on it.
What? Against LeBron James, the best of the small
time's out.
Was it a good score?
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
No, I don't care.
Who was on his team? Russell Westbrook's inefficient. I can't make a decision to save my life. Look at ass. Like, what are we talking about here, Chris? I
knew you weren't going to agree. I knew you weren't going to agree.
2022.
That's 10 years ago. It's 10 years ago.
That man averages 30 in the playoffs in his sleep. Like you watched one game where he didn't score more points than Kyrie Irving.
No.
I
couldn't. Not just one game.
I couldn't.
Not just one game.
Look, Chris.
Yet it was this game that really was okay, Chris, I'm gonna look at it a little bit differently. Okay, he might shut me up the next game, but as it stands, he's in that group of three guys who they drafted well, who all became MVPs, but could not show up in the big moments.
Oh, okay. So let's just see what he had last year. Okay.
Show.
He sounds like a good team to you.
Yeah.
Let's see the Carfax.
29, 32, 30, 28, 49, 30.
Who was on the team?
Buckets.
Who was on the team?
Buckets.
Who was on the team?
Kyrie was hurt. James Harden was hurt. That was a series that they got.
They played 2 games without.
Yeah, both of them played 2 games. KD carried the rest. And they went.
But they lost
against a team that won the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
I disagree.
That's fine.
You can come for James Harden a little bit. You can come for Russ. But KD, it's Kevin Durant. We're talking about. Everybody has had a bad finals moment. LeBron James against the Dallas Mavericks.
Of course.
Magic Johnson had bad finals moments. He turned over the ball against Larry Bird, Boston Celtics to win an NBA Finals. Isaiah Thomas has major turnovers, loses an NBA Finals. Everybody that's been amazing has had bad moments. KD's going to have his bad moments, but he's a superstar.
Well, I'm not taking that away from him. I'm not taking away from James Harden being a superstar. I'm not taking away from KD being a superstar. I'm just saying that in these big moments, it's only the first round, so it's not the biggest moment, but I'm just telling you right now that it's not those 3 guys, greatly drafted, all MVPs in their own right, but these moments when they're dependent, it's like you have to show up. You have you could take regular season games off, but in the playoffs, you have to. Every minute matters.
I'm gonna. I thought we were gonna think the same on the negatives about the Brooklyn Nets. So I'm just gonna shift gears and we're just gonna argue all day.
That's fine.
Brooklyn Nets versus Boston Celtics. I have Brooklyn Nets in 7. This immediately popped up in my head for this is a matchup issue. One, Marcus Smart's one of the better defenders in the NBA. He's guarding Kyrie Irving. They have good forward depth for the Boston Celtics, and I think the Brooklyn Nets can hit a higher point scoring wise, but there's one thing that scares the crap out of me, and I don't think Steve Nash can coach his way out of a paper bag. I mean, you want to know how insane this is? Bruce Brown should be the 10th, 11th, 12th best player on the bench. Rotational guy, 6'4", right? He's playing 36 minutes per game last night. He had a whopping 6 points.
Yeah.
He's 6'4", and they're asking him to guard 6'9" Daniel Tice.
Okay, come on.
Oh, and you're thinking rebounding. Okay, let's just talk about rebounding for a quick second here. Okay. The Boston Celtics had 15 offensive rebounds, and the Boston Celtics had 43 rebounds as a team. The Brooklyn Nets had 29. Because the Brooklyn Nets played KD, Seth Curry, Kyrie, Bruce Brown, 6'4". I can't do anything looking ass, and Andre Drummond and Claxton. Yeah. And they have two guys on that bench that can rotate and win the series. You have Blake Griffin. What are you doing? You can match him up with Daniel Tice, and they made Daniel Tice look like the next coming of Kevin McHale. Okay, by how easy it looked for Daniel Tice. Seriously, it was Bruce Brown, Steph Curry. They forced them to switch, and they exposed the guards on Daniel Tice. Daniel Tice. You have Blake Griffin's roided looking ass on the bench, and Marcus Aldridge, 7 foot. Just rotate these guys in and take away their advantage. It's not that hard. And then their length as a team is negated a little bit. They have so much talent. The Nets. Patty Mills, Goran Dragic, Seth Curry, Cam Thomas. Kessler Edwards needs more minutes. 6'7" guy, bulky, can guard shoots threes. To rotate in behind Kevin Durant to give them some length. They're so deep in shot creators and guards that can just get buckets. And that's why I think they'll win throughout the series. But Steve Nash, man. If he loses this series, it's Steve Nash's fault. It's not Kevin Durant's fault. It's the matchup issues that can be quickly fixed. But I don't know how stupid Steve Nash is. He's looking pretty dumb. So I have the Nets in 7, but it's looking not good.
Okay.
I definitely agree with what you just said, Jason. I'm gonna keep it short. Nets in 7 too.
Boston.
That's okay. I agree with you choosing Boston for the reasons that I said they could beat them, but Kevin Durant losing the series is just not. I mean, Chris.
You got to match up. we are friends. We're really good friends. You have to match up.
So that's hilarious.
You have to match up. The problem is you have to match up. And if he's gonna shrink every game, then you can't match up.
I really hope the NBA media doesn't sound like that. Bumped.
Wait, just go put this out here. If I'm right, you heard it here first.
And Kevin Durant averages less than 25 points per game. I will buy a Jason Tatum jersey.
There we go. I'll take it.
There you go, Chris.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So we have Miami Heat versus 76ers. Who do you guys have?
Miami Heat versus 76ers. I want to go 76ers. That's where my choice would go, because I just think
I'm surprised you chose that. After the James Harden speech, I get every day.
Of course, the James Harden speech, he's going to be a problem regardless. But I just have too much faith in Joel Embiid, is what I'm saying. I just have way too much faith in Joel Embiid.
That makes sense. I'm going Heat.
You going Heat? Yeah, I'm going with Joel Embiid.
I'm going Heat, man. I just think, like I say, a good team with great players on it, and I think they can get it done in Philly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Philly in 7 because the Heat are a very, very, very good team. I watched some old games of them playing against each other, and they just like double Joel Embiid the whole game. But it's gonna be hard. That was pre James Harden, so like it's gonna be hard for them to just double Joel Embiid like that. So with I love Bam, but Bam doesn't match up well against Embiid. I guess nobody really does. So I'm not super scared about that matchup. So I'm gonna go 76ers in 7 games because the elite levels that they can hit scoring wise are gonna win them enough games. It's just the Heat can only hit a certain level offensively. And the 76ers have just a different gear. So we got Bucks.
Yeah. Embiid is a problem, but I'm still going to stand on and go with the Heat.
Go ahead.
It's a bet. We got Bucks versus the Nets and the Celtics because Kevin Durant apparently sucks.
Not saying he sucks. It's just the moments. It's just the moments. I haven't been shown that that he could do what he did in Golden State per se. And that's just my only argument is that it was just too easy there. So you said Bucks and the Nets. Oh, you got Bucks and the Nets. I got Bucks and Celtics.
Yeah.
I got the Bucks. I got the Bucks beating the Celtics.
Okay.
I'm with you, Chris.
Yeah, Bucks and 6.
I'm gonna go Nets in 6. I think the Nets are an absolutely terrible matchup for the Bucks. I think no PJ Tucker is going to get shown a little bit in this series because Giannis not going to be able to take a break on KD and vice versa. And they match up well because you can put KD on Giannis and then put Drummond on Brook Lopez and run your guards that they like to run. And I just think Kai is just going to go. Their offensive output is just way too high. I think people are sleeping on how bad this Bucks team is outside of Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis. There's just not a lot of talent. It's a lot of Grayson Allen, there's a lot of Wesley Matthews. They don't scare anybody. Yeah, I'm not scared.
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, it's the Nets in 6. They have too much guard talent, depth wise, bench wise. I really think they have an elite scoring bench as a group unit. Dragic, Mills, Cam Thomas. It's pretty elite.
Giannis scares me.
Okay. I mean, he's special.
For sure.
All right. So you have Heat versus Bucks. Chris has Bucks versus 76ers. I have 76ers versus Nets.
I got the Bucks. I got the Bucks ending the 76ers run here.
Okay.
Hold on.
Who do you have again? That's weird.
Damn, bro, I just forgot.
Yeah.
You have
the
Bucks. He has the Heat.
The Bucks.
Can the Heat do it again? Can they upset the Bucks again?
No. You know what? I'm going to go Bucks. I'm going to go Bucks. I think the kind of caliber player that Giannis is once he gets going, he's just a dominant force when he's out there.
It's true.
You talk about a player that's going to play fucking hard every single snap. He just has that killer in him, and that energy rubs off on the guys. I know he's going to get in that locker room and just demand greatness to come out of his teammates because he's just that kind of caliber of player, a selfless player, and I think they will find a way to win that series.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Bucks and not Bucks. Nets and 6 over the 76ers. Again, I think the Nets have a really deep team and they kind of slept on how good their depth is. And because of that, they're deep and they have KD and Kyrie. I think KD's passing ability has really grown under the radar. I think that's going to be a real big difference maker, and it's going to be just fun to watch Chris be wrong because KD's going to carry his team to the NBA Finals. What works for for me.
Nets revenge game. Nets revenge game from last year.
He really just threw that out there.
They don't have anybody. Nets revenge game. I guess they're gonna lose again.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
It'll
lot.
be
Of
done.
things. Also, Ben Simmons comes back. This is a wrap.
Yeah, he'll be back
This
for
is-
games of 4, maybe of this one, 3 or 4 of this one.
If he ever comes back in this playoffs, it's a wrap. He's way too special defensively. You want to talk about all the problems? It gets cured with him. Passing, defense, drive. Oh, we got all these otherworldly shooters. That's the best team in the NBA.
Yeah, the Nets' biggest problem is their defense. They have zero
Yeah, for
defense.
sure.
They really have to match firepower with firepower because they can't defend.
Yeah.
Save it, like at all.
All right. So everybody has the Warriors of the West. Chris has the Bucks. You have the Bucks, and I have the Nets. So you guys can go ahead.
Warriors versus Bucks.
That's what you have. Yeah.
Yeah, I have Warriors. I have the Warriors winning this series completely. Championship. Warriors 4th ring.
Dun, 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 dun. All right. Sissy, what do you have?
You know what, Chris?
What?
Agree. I think Warriors are going to win this. Just going out that team and what they have, and those guys are winners already. Like you talking about like Curry's is arguably the best shooter that this league has ever seen.
Oh no, he's not arguable.
Yeah.
He is.
He is the best shooter that this league has ever seen. So I think those guys are going to win.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. If Ben Simmons doesn't play, it's the Warriors. If Ben Simmons plays, it's the Nets for me. Yeah. And if Ben Simmons doesn't play, it's the Warriors in 5 in the NBA Finals. They're going to run laps. It's too deep of a team, too understanding how to play. And I'm glad that we're going to get to see Jordan Poole really grow on the scene, and the casual fans are going to realize how special he is. So
yeah.
that's my take. We're all Warriors favorites here.
Yeah.
True basketball heads.
Nets first round exit. Let's go, baby.
KD carries. Let's go, baby.
I need to find a cap because that's a lot of cap.
What a cap for?
That's cap.
That's hilarious, man.
That's straight cap. You'll all see what I mean. Just wait.
You'll see what I mean. Just wait.
I'll be pissed if I get proven wrong. But if I get proven wrong, remember you heard it here first.
This is good. I'm actually just to chime in. I'm definitely enjoying this episode right now. And just to harp on what I said earlier, this is a really good podcast. It's really just two guys talking about basketball. It's really great. The Basketball Addicts, you can find these guys on what platforms are you guys on? Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music.
Everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Everywhere you listen to podcasts. Tune in right now. And I'm super excited for the big projects you guys got coming up. You know, I think this podcast is going to keep growing and growing and growing as you guys keep pouring more into it. So I'm excited to be here at the early years, because I know eventually you guys will have 1 million listeners eventually at the end. So super excited for the process.
Yeah. Chris, who do you think is our dream guest?
LeBron.
Yeah. Okay, let's be a little more realistic, because I don't think LeBron's talking to anyone.
I think you know what?
Right.
I don't think LeBron will get on the podcast, but if you guys get on Undisputed,
Can I argue skip? That's what argue skip.
Yeah,
I would tell me he's wrong to his face. You're wrong.
That will be big. You guys get on Undisputed, that's big.
I want to get on first things first and dap up Chris. I'm like, finally, somebody who knows something.
I think mine would be Isaiah Thomas. I really love listening to Isaiah Thomas talk about basketball. He is like a fountain of basketball knowledge. I'm talking about Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, I would have JJ Redick.
The Dookie, yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I
JJ
feel like
Redick.
would be an odd interview, but would be, I think we could do a good job with it, would be Kyrie. I feel like we would ask the right questions for Kyrie.
Yeah.
To not really like push him to be like, you guys, I hate this interview. Goodbye. You know,
Yeah.
like that kind of vibe he has. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
feel like we could walk that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Kyrie. I would like to interview Kyrie. Can we interview Kevin Durant so I can tell him that he shrinks in big moments?
Whoa,
And
Chris.
You're gonna say that to his face.
Chris.
We're not gonna get another
K-
guest.
K-
Can I interview James Harden so I can be like, you flop all the time, you don't play basketball?
Oh,
Oh man, that's
Ref.
hilarious.
I get 2 shots, right?
Oh my god.
I just want to interview Russ.
Russ. Why do you think you suck so much, Russ?
Westbrook, my guy.
Westbrook. Chris, you talking on this shit. These guys are gladiators. These guys are giants. These guys will fuck you up. These guys will fuck you up, bro. These guys are skyscrapers.
I want to interview Ben Simmons and ask him why won't you shoot a 3? Why won't you make a shot? Wait. No, you ever seen that that video where that guy was like, "Why are you running? Why are you running? Why would you shoot? Why would you shoot?" Are you scared? Are you scared of the basketball? No, for real. I would like to interview those four just so I can tell Ben Simmons how much he sucks and how much I suck.
Come on, man.
Interview Donovan Mitchell so I can leave Utah.
Put in his application to Cleveland Cavaliers. We
Right.
really would like it over here.
Right. I think that you'll love Cleveland. You know?
I feel like this might be a natural stopping point. Do you agree, Chris?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Any things you want to say to the people?
I ain't got nothing. You got anything?
I got something to say. Like I said earlier, thank you guys for having me on. Super excited. I know it's a spare of the moment thing. I crashed it. But, like I say, every time I come on this podcast, I'm invited by Chris and Jason. I feel honored and excited about it. Excited what's going on. Hopefully, guys, you guys can get to the studio, an actual studio, recording in the studio together. If you guys can fly to one another like a couple of times a month and just kick out content, I think that'd be dope.
Yeah.
So but that's all I gotta say, guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we really have a goal to really grow this podcast and try to have as many listeners as we can and as many people that go in this journey with the basketball addicts. And we've had a lot of good guests and a lot of people that have been enjoyable, and I really feel like that's the goal, is to keep on growing the community and just tell a friend. You guys like the podcast, you've listened all the way to the end, tell a friend. That's the goal. Tell a friend about our podcast if you really like it. Just help us grow organically. And that's what I was going to say. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. And also, if you listen always to the podcast and anything that we may say that comes to fruition, remember, you heard it here first. Peace.
Peace out.